interact and be involved, like, is it valuable for me to watch the news, or is it just a big load of hooey? I mean, I think I would like to somewhat know what's going on in the world, but I don't really trust our information sources at all, and I don't know if they just clog my brain, and I would like to be involved in making a choice from my heart about what I feel aligned with, supposedly in this country, we're supposed to vote, we're supposed to have a say in what's happening, so I don't want to drop out. And yet, it's like, how do I support our president and bless our president, but I don't at all support the choices, many of the choices that his regime is making, and I just don't know what to do. I don't know how to be with that. I don't know whether to, do I need to be more specific?
No, you do not.
Okay.
First of all, I don't encourage you to become ignorant of what's happening in your world. I encourage you not to watch the news excessively. Once a day, we'll give you a recap. It is especially well to listen to the news late in the evening, because as you've noticed, there's very little breaking news when the audience gets smaller. And because there isn't breaking news, the day's news is expressed with less passion. So keep abreast of the news and use the best news source you have available, meaning the news sources that are the least sensational.
Is that something like public radio, NPR, that kind of thing?
That is excellent.
Okay.
Now, each one of you must listen, must pay attention within yourselves to find where you are to be active. Right now, your attention needs to be on your immediate learning processes, your plans, your schooling, etc. You must pay attention to where to put your energy, and you are not to assume that your energy is to go into the political arena just because politics is in the forefront of your news. You see what I mean? Paul is not getting involved in politics, but he's very involved in what we're doing. That is not his place, politics. So, I'm going to put it this way. You will know where to express yourself when you find your voice. And you will find your voice as you learn to become clear with yourself. This is true for every single one of you. For some of you, finding your voice at this time may mean being the best darned parent you could be. For others, it may involve political involvement. So you must learn to entrust yourselves to where you feel the movement in you. And I promise you that you will feel the movement where your voice is. How do you support your president when you can't support his choices? Well, you pray for your president. And you don't support his poor choices. You lend him your maximal support for the position he must hold and express in the world. And you can do that while disagreeing with decisions he makes or directions he chooses to lead the country in. You can disagree with him without belittling him. And that's extremely important. No one deserves hate. No one deserves to be poorly thought of, because thoughts are not private. Disagreeing with someone does not mean you think poorly of him. It means you cannot concur with him. That's all. And that's the clarity that's needed.
So is it true for me right now that my job within all of this and the scary things that I see out in the world or perceive, my job is just to simply work on that balance that you're describing within me and what's happening within me and my upcoming, the things that I'm taking on, and that I can let go of any thoughts of needing to be more physically involved in what's happening.
That is absolutely correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome.
I'm not sure if I have this well-formed question. Some while ago I asked you about getting in a relationship again, and you said that I needed to forgive the last person that I was with, that I was blaming for my discomfort and damage and all that. That was very true. I'm not sure how far along I've come in that.
About 75% of the way.
Okay.
So you're not finished.
And that would probably be why I don't, at this point in time, feel a desire to get into a relationship.
Yes, and you can thank your lucky stars that the opportunity has not arisen, because this last 25% is the ugly part.
Oh, great.
And it's the part you do not want to carry into a new relationship with you.
Okay. That makes perfect sense.
You've processed the easiest stuff, which is excellent. You know what? You've got to find your fulfillment. You've got to find your joy. You've got to find your peace to be far more important to you than justice. And until you do, you'll harbor resentment until justice can be gotten. But I promise you, you will never get justice, because lovelessness begets pain. Going for justice will not get you your peace or your joy or your fulfillment. And it will not allow your heart to be open and receptive to a new relationship that might be totally enjoyable. So, what do you want? Be real with yourself. Be real enough to say, well, at the moment, I want justice more than anything else. And I know that as long as I'm going to go for justice, I'm going to be miserable, but I'm choosing to do it anyway. Be honest with yourself.
I've certainly felt that way.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So the less you gloss it over, and the more real you are in your assessment of where you are, the more quickly you will recognize that it isn't where you want to be, and you'll say, forget it. I forgive the situation because not forgiving it is making me miserable. I forgive it so that I can be in my peace and so that I can move on. So now you have yourself to say no to. Or your ego anyway.
Yeah. It is going to be an interesting month or two.
Indeed. A wonderfully interesting month or two.
I'm really not dreading it.
I know. Okay, hands in the back.
I have just a little curiosity about when I listen and I'm hearing guidance. A lot, and I'm not sure how long this has been going on for, but it seems like I hear real directly, and I'm not questioning that so much anymore. But it feels like I'm hearing from you a lot more often than my own guide lately. Is that correct, or am I imagining
That is correct. Your guide is not possessive.
No, I didn't think so, but I wondered about that.
And we dance a dance with you.
Huh? So...
Like a do-si-do.
So, and I don't believe that I hear anyone else, but is that correct?
That is correct. You do not.
Because for a while that seemed to be otherwise. Is there any need for me to be open to others?
Well, don't be closed, but say thank you and be satisfied with the two who are working with you.
Oh, I am.
Indeed.
And there's not any particular reason for why it's happening the way it is.
No, it just fulfills purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone else speaks with you, it will be because that fulfills purpose at that time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
In the chapter of Matthew in the Bible, it says that you said, you shall not take any thought for what you eat, what you put on, what you drink. For many, many years, I've been concerned with not where I've gone out and on a big campaign, just for our own personal use of the earth being depleted and lots of chemicals used, and felt that a lot of the vegetables and fruits that we receive don't have much value, food value, and therefore I would take food supplements and that sort of thing. I don't revolve my life around this. I just do it. But also, the other thing that I've heard you say on a tape was that you're an advocate of vegetarianism. And so I'm kind of like, don't take any thought, however, not eat meat, I'm help.
I'm not an advocate of vegetarianism. The point is that your body, for lack of better words, is designed to digest vegetables. I have indicated that you need not worry if you are eating fish or poultry. But your body is not geared toward the digestion of meat. So my point has been to do what works well, not to promote a particular form of diet. There really is a need for those who are not in charge. I mean by that, the regular citizenry of your country, and indeed of other countries as well, to begin to lift its voice and make its requirement heard that foodstuffs need to be fooling around and altering their structure needs to stop. And that, for lack of better words, any alteration that occurs should be within the structures of nature rather than science. A need for the valuing of wholesomeness in human relationships, in family relationships, in relationship to the food you are eating. These need to take precedence over technology and striving for utterly new things that cause nature to be overridden and ignored. Because I will tell you that nature will not be overridden, and if awakening didn't occur before nature spoke up, there would be, well, the best way I can put it is that arrogant mankind would be put in its place, and humility would once again emerge, and honor and respect for the earth, honor and respect for each other, would once again take precedence. So don't be afraid to lift your voice. Don't be afraid to let your market know that you do not want certain kinds of foods. You do not want irradiated foods. You do not want altered foods, etc. Because money's the bottom line. And if you say you're not going to spend your money here, but you are going to spend it there, that's where the effort will be put. But let the motive for what you say be one of honoring nature. That's all I will say about it for now.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Yes.
I am curious about the flickering of white light that I see at the periphery of my vision at night. It's been occurring for approximately a month. A scintillating cascade of flickering white lights to either side of my head.
It is an experience of illumination, and I would encourage you to abide with it when it is happening. Just be present with it. Be still. Pay attention to what you are feeling. There is accompanying meaning. And in the quietness of being attentive, I want you to be open to the conveyance of the meaning that is being extended to you. It is not a fluke, I will tell you that.
Thank you.
You are welcome. It is time to call it a day, but we will continue tomorrow. I think it's obvious to everyone that the size of the group has nothing to do with the content of the gathering. It has been a beautiful day, and you have brought much to the meaning of the gathering. And I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
You are welcome.